Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a little tutorial. I'm going to do my eyes first. I'm starting out shape tape on my eyes. Then you can use that as a primer. That in all over the lid. I'm using my Real Technique sponge today. And we're just going to go ahead and take Rimmel's Stay Matte and just pack that all over my lid and in the crease and to the brow bone and inner corner and all over my eyeball. Next, I'm going to take the NYX Earth palette. This is limited edition, and I went into Ulta and I saw it, and I just had to have it, so I bought it, and I love it so far. I've been playing with it for a few weeks, or a few days now. I'm going to go in with that warm transition shade, and I'm going to take that on a fluffy brush from BH Cosmetics that I just cleaned off. And I'm going to pop that right above my crease, not in the crease, above the crease, and kind of on the outer corner. My dog was barking. Next I'm going to take that taupe shade and I'm going to take that on a brush that's similar to a Morphe M433, and I'm going to put the color on one side of the brush and then flip it over, and that's the side that I'm going to focus on up in my crease, right above my crease really, and I'm taking this right in almost to the bridge of my nose, but stopping right before the bridge of my nose. Doing the same thing on the other side. Now I'm going to take that first shade in the palette. It's a little bit deeper than I would like to set my lid, so I don't use it as a setting, like a set powder. I just kind of use it to buff out harsh lines when I do looks with this palette. Next I'm going to take an even more dense flat synthetic brush my mom called. Hang on. Yeah, so back in I'm going to take that green. It's not really green, it's more of a gray, and I'm going to do the same thing, pack it on one side, flip it over, and then put that side right directly in the crease. This is going to end up being a cut crease, so if you'll see where I'm going with this in just a second. This looks a little crazy to begin with, so I'm just going to take that BH fluffy brush again with no extra product on it and just keep blending and blending and blending until the lines are no longer harsh. At this point, I was kind of happy with the way everything was blending out, so I'm going to take a really flat, a really thin, flat synthetic brush, and I'm going to take my shape tape from Tarte, which I can't find at the moment. You'll see in a second. There it is. I'm just going to put that on the back of my hand, and then I'm going to take it, as you can see, it's a very thin brush. I'm sorry, I'm a little scatterbrained today. And I'm going to start packing that, working that all over my lid, and then I'm going to carve out my crease. I just changed clips because my camera dropped the frame, but I'm carving out all of the, I'm carving out the crease the way that I wanted the shape of my eye to look. So, and then after I have it carved, then I'm going to just cover the entire surface area of the lid there with shape tape. I ran out of shape tape, so I just need a little bit more, so I just dabbed that on the back of my hand again and did the same thing to my other eye that I just did to my first eye. Next, I'm going to take this green shade right here. I'm going to start packing that all over my lid. I love the Shimmer Greens palette. They're just a little bit crumbly, but in a way that when you spread them out, they just look so glittery. Not glittery in a bad way. They're like, they stick to your eye, but they're metallic, but they have flecks of glitter in them. And they just look really pretty on the eye, especially with flash. So I'm just going to pack this all over my lid and kind of drag it out a little bit, because this is going to end up having a wing, which is kind of my favorite part of the entire look. So just keep applying that to your eyelid. You'll notice that I'm going to bring this way into my inner corner and kind of down. The reason I'm doing that is because I'm going to clean it up later, and I wanted to do sort of a gradient, so I wanted that little color there so I could have something to blend it into. And then I just took my finger, packed it all over my lid, and then went in and detailed it with the brush, carving out the crease and putting the shadow on the inner corner. You'll notice I had some fallout, but it's okay, we didn't do our face yet, so I'm just going to take a makeup wipe and clean that up, do a really sharp line going kind of upwards towards the end of where my brow is going to end. I suggest doing your eyebrows first if you're newer to makeup, because that'll kind of frame where your eyeshadow is going to go. I knew exactly how I draw my brows on, so I didn't really feel the need to do this, and I like to do my brows over my foundation, because I feel like my pencil is more pigmented. Next, I'm taking the Too Faced Hangover RX Primer and just rubbing that all into my face. I want to use a hydrating primer because the foundation that I'm going to use is very matte, and I want glow. So this is the Fenty Beauty foundation. I don't remember the shade. It's one of the, I think it's like the second or third lightest one. It's the neutral toned one, and I'm using a ton of it because I need a lot of coverage. Taking my Real Technique sponge again, and I'm just going to blend this all over my face. I wanted to make sure that this was like super, super blended because I just needed it to look flat, flawless canvas for the face makeup that we're about to do. So I'm going to just blend. And it looks a little light, but this does, it doesn't per se oxidize, but it does get darker when it dries to where its true color will be. So you'll see at the end it does really match and look the way it's supposed to look. It just looks a little light when you're first blending it on the skin. Then I'm going to take Tarte Shape Tape and blend that under my eyes to cover up my dark circles because I have those. Next I'm going to take the MAC, it's not the Studio Fix, it's one of their other powders. It's like a very lightweight powder, it's very finely milled. I'm taking that on a really dense brush, which it's a little bit darker than the foundation, which kind of evened everything out. So I'm just packing that like everywhere, because I really want to set the foundation, but I want to make my face look very, the powder is dewy. It's not wet, but it's like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's a beautiful powder. Highly suggest it. Taking the Precisely My Brow Pencil from Benefit and sketching on my brows. Yes, I know I hold my brow pencil weird in one hand. I don't know why I do it. It's just the easiest way to do it for me. Okay, I'm going to set it with Gimme Brow in shade 3. I want to darken up my hairs a little bit to make my brows kind of pop a little bit more and match the root of my hair rather than the ends of my hair, which are a little bit lighter. Next, I'm going to take the Jeffree Star Cosmetics Manny MUA highlight in the shade Eclipse, and this is what I was talking about. We're going to pack that on the inner corner and kind of bring it in about like 1/4 of the way into the lid. Then I'm going to use that to highlight my brow bone and my nose. Praying to the eyeliner gods and doing a really thick black, half of a black wing. So I'm going to do the line and then drag it up, drag it back down, fill in. It's going to stop at about my pupil, and you'll see why I'm doing that in just a second. Now I'm taking a white eyeliner from L'Oreal's Infallible Paints, and I'm just going to take that and draw it from my inner corner to that black liner, and I'm going to make it like a gradient and blend that together, and it's going to be like a gradient from white to gray to black, but liner, if that makes any sense. Okay, now we get to watch me struggle putting on bronzer because it wasn't as pigmented as I thought it was going to be, so I just applied a crap ton. This is the Essence Sun Club Matte Bronzing Powder for lighter skin. I really, really like this bronzer. It's more yellow toned, which I think flatters my skin tone a little bit more. I just want to add a little bit of color around the perimeter of my face. For blush, I'm taking Milani's Luminoso, and I'm going to apply that generously on my cheeks. Then I'm going to take the Fenty Beauty highlight in the shade Fire Crystal and the, Lightning Dust and Fire Crystal. I'm going to take the more intense side. I'm going to highlight my face with that and kind of my nose and my cupid's bow and all that, and then I'm going to blend that out with the stippling brush. This is sped up a lot, I'm sorry. Okay. Now I'm going to pop on some eyelashes. I struggled with the first one, but the second one went on so easy. Can you see the frustration in my face? Glue dried up on me, so I had to apply more glue. This goes to show, beauty gurus don't always get it right on the first try. I wear lashes all the time. Finally, I get that to stick to the inner corner of my eyeball. Taking the other one, and this one went on so easily. It's kind of ridiculous. I'm going to take some L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black. I actually bent the wand on this so I could get closer to my lashes. And I'm going to apply that to the top and the bottom. Just a light layer to kind of blend everybody together. And then I had trouble deciding what lip color I wanted. I knew I wanted something bold and vampy for fall, but I didn't know what it was. So I went with this Crease Matte Brown. It is a true brown. It is beautiful. And the formula is really, really good on these Trestique pencils. And then I'm going to use the Tarte Rainforest with the Sea Marine Boosting Mist. I love this to set my makeup, and I also love it to just refresh my skin. Looking up on myself. And there's a close-up of the look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Love you guys. Bye.